Hi, Master Rock, back at the Dae-Yang. I got Connor with me here tonight behind the camera. Hope everybody's doing well, and we're still doing pretty good, all things considered. Still missing you guys as usual, but hopefully everybody's adjusting to the way things are at the moment and doing well. Tonight's class we're gonna we're gonna work on Sam-Jang. Still kind of in the yellow to green belt range for tae hooks, but we're slowly working our way up. We'll also review some of the white belt and yellow belt, maybe even some green belt. I don't know if we'll get that far tonight. Techniques for hands, specifically blocks and hand strikes. We're going to go through those tonight, make sure everybody's on the right page as far as practicing those at home. And, you know, the usual warm-up where we'll torture Connor for a little bit, so that's always fun. But anyways, let's get started with our warm-up. All right, for our warm-up tonight, we're gonna do the ever so popular drill where we stand against the wall and we hold our legs up for 30 seconds or so. Tonight with Connor, we're gonna do this for 30 seconds because probably most of you haven't done it for very long. But I really want you to work on trying to hold your leg up as high as you can for those 30 seconds. Higher ranks, if you're feeling good and up to it, go for a longer period of time. You know, stop the video, go for a full minute on these. Otherwise, you know, feel free to just do the 30 seconds. But I think some of you higher ranks should probably be doing at least a minute. And once again, trying to hold your leg as high as you can. All right, so let's get started with that. All right, so the first one we're gonna do is front kicks. You wanna keep your back and your behind against the wall. Don't let yourself lean away from the wall. A couple things to parents, you're helping the kids at home. Find a place on the wall where they're not gonna damage the wall. A door that's closed and nobody's gonna open is good as well. So right now Connor's gonna back up to the wall a little bit more. I want to try to reduce any kind of space. We really want to focus on certain muscle groups here. All right, so the first one we're gonna do is front kick. His right leg's gonna come up and that knee nice and high. All right, and then he's gonna push out with a good ball of the foot front kick. So really focus on your foot shape as well while doing this. Go ahead and extend out, Connor, for a sec. All right, good. Some things to watch out for that people like to cheat. A, that leg starts dropping. B, their belt and their butt comes off the wall. Connor, go ahead and show kind of the bad thing. Yeah, see, they start doing that thing where they're leaning away from the wall and getting that gap in between here and the wall. We really want to try to keep that right up against the wall. All right, Connor, move your back to the wall. Go ahead and keep that up. We're going for 30 seconds here. Got about another 10, 15 seconds. Connor got a little easy on this one because we were showing you the bad ways to do it. But most of you want to try to hold your foot above your knee. We're only doing 30 seconds. So that should be easy. Okay, so parents who are helping the youngsters, make sure that their foot is above their knee, preferably up by their belt if possible. Some of the higher ranks can even go higher, and that'd be great. All right, good. And relax. Good. Switch to the other foot. We're gonna do 30 seconds here. Up and out, go. And hopefully I keep track of the time because otherwise Connor gets mad at me for making him do this too long. Good. Once again, trying to hold that leg as high as you can. It might cramp a little. If it does, take a second to lower it a little, rub it out a little bit, and then continue back your 30 seconds. Okay, watch that back. Make sure it's staying on the wall. And once again, at least knee height. Connor's just barely above knee, but he didn't get, he hasn't done this in a while either, so probably a good one for him today as well. And relax. Good. So that was probably a little more than 30 seconds, but that's all right. Next one is going to be round kick. Same idea. We're going to hold that leg up for 30 seconds. Okay, the idea is to try to hold it as high as you can and keep your body as close to the wall as you can so that you're not leaning way over. All right. So let's start with the right leg, Connor. We're going to do round kick this time. All right. Good. Make sure you keep a couple things before we start here. All right, go ahead and put that down. Make sure you stay. See how Connor is got one shoulder and that hand against the wall. That's good. What we don't want to see is where you start turning almost like a back kick. So they start getting like this position. All right, and then they're trying to do a round kick. This is not the right position. Connor, try to do a round kick from this position. Yeah, see how it goes off to the side? Well, that's wrong. We want to stay more on the side. So Connor's going to shift to the shoulder there. Yep, there we go. So they should be looking to one side or the other, not straight at the wall. All right, this one it's okay if your foot comes out a little bit from the wall, but you really want to focus on that bottom foot so your heel's out away from the wall and pivoted. And now we're going to bring that right leg up, knee up. Good starting position, and then extend into a round kick. Go ahead, Connor. There you go. Once again, the more you can keep so your focus is on the side here, all through here. These are the muscles we want to work up through into here, a little bit on the back side, but we don't want to be turned over so much that we're just working the lower back area. We'll get to that in the next set. All right, once again, try to hold it above your knee. If you can hold it above your belt, awesome. Keep doing that. Don't slack off. All right, let's see. I have no. What did we start on, Tom? That's probably close to 30 seconds there. Good. And relax. And we're going to switch over the other leg. And up and out. Once again, we're just doing 30 seconds. As I said, feel free to do more. Parents, if the kids have more energy and they need to burn off some more energy, go for longer than 30 seconds. But make sure they're trying to keep that foot above the knee, okay? 5 more seconds. And relax. Excellent. All right, last one we're going to do on the wall today is the back kick position. So in this case, you get to put both your hands on the wall. All right, don't get so far away from the wall. One thing we don't want is our heads to be below our belt. Sometimes people, when they're doing this, have a tendency to tip over really far just to keep their leg up. Don't let that happen. Really keep your upper body up as much as you can and let your leg and the muscles in your lower back and your legs do all the work. All right, so we'll start with the right leg up. Good, chamber and out. Good. Things to work on, foot shape. Really keep things turned over. Connor's foot could probably be turned down just a little. There he goes, good. I want that foot to be down like that. Good, toes are angled down. Really trying to work that lower back and the glutes all through this area here. Should be doing the bulk of the work here. All right, good, and relax. Like I said, 30 seconds, nothing too strenuous here. And now the other leg up and out. Good, same thing. Try to maintain above your knee if you can. Otherwise, try to go higher. And make sure you're focusing that your muscles that you're using are the ones that run from your lower back down the back side into your leg, okay? All right. Getting close to 30 seconds here, and relax. Excellent, and put your foot down. Good. So if you want, you can do a second set of that. If you thought that was pretty easy and you only did the 30 seconds and you want to do more, feel free to pause the video and do another set of those. The more, the better. That way you're keeping that leg strength up. So eventually when we get back in here, your legs are in good shape and ready to start kicking and doing their thing. All right, now we'll move on to the next part of the warm-up. All right, this next warm-up piece that we're going to do is a little different. I don't know if anybody's done this or not before. It's been a long time since I've probably done this in class. Some of the adults that have been around for a while might remember doing this at one point in time. I call them the doggy drills because you're basically on your hands and knees and doing doggy drills. So you'll see in a second what I mean. But something different for a lot of you and new, but once again, it's a good strength exercise for your kicks, and we're going to get started with those right now. All right, so Connor's going to do the doggy exercises with us, and the first thing he's going to do is get down on his hands and knees. So Connor, hands and knees. That's the reason we call these the dog positions. warm up. What he's going to do is take his left leg, he's going to lift it, he's going to bring it up close to his shoulder as he can, and then from there he's going to do a back kick or a side kick up as high as he can. All right, the goal here is to try to get good foot shape, hold that leg up for about a 3 to 5 second count, then bring it back to his shoulder, hold for a sec, back out again. 1, 2, 3, bring it in. Okay, that's 2. We're going to do this 10 times, all right? So that's 2. Go ahead, Connor, keep going on your own pace. Really think about extending that leg up nice and straight. Good. Bring that knee all the way forward again and back out. Full range of motion. We don't want to do short ranges of motion. We want the full extent here. Okay, keep going. Good. And what number are you on, Connor?
5.
5, all right, keep going.
Maybe 6.
All right, excellent. Keep going at home. Try to really keep that knee up. Pull it in as close to your shoulder as you can. Connor's just drooping a little bit, but he's getting a little tired probably. There we go. Good. Good. Let's call that, what, 8?
Yes, sir.
All right, 9. All right, and then on this last one, when he goes out, you're going to go up and down once you get your foot all the way out straight. So there, and then from there, it's just like it's going to go lift up and down just a little bit. And you're going to do that to a 10 count really quick. All right. Good. Excellent, excellent. Now we're going to switch over, do the other leg, same thing. All right, Sam-Jang. Good, 1, 2. Remember to really hold it out there for a few seconds once you get it out there. If you just kind of go in and out, in and out, in and out, you're kind of not getting the workout. All right, Connor, you feeling this at all?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, good. Connor says yes. Couldn't hear that. Good. 3, 4. Really try to keep that back flat and try not to twist your spine too much. There you go. Try to keep your shoulders square and parallel to the floor. Excellent job, Connor. Okay. These are definitely a little harder to do after the wall segment we did before this. So first time doing these, be careful, don't hurt, cramp, or pull anything. There you go. On 10, we're going to go up and down 10 times. Really build that burn. Excellent job, Connor. All right, next one we're going to do is a round kick version of this. So we'll be right back to show you that. All right, next one we're going to assume the same dog position, and this time we're doing round kicks to the side. Okay, these are a little bit harder. Connor actually got to try a couple already, and he was already saying these were more difficult. So we're going to only do 5 of these. If you want to do more than 5, by all means, stop the video at the end of our 5 and do more. All right, if they seem easy, keep doing them. All right, this is a really good strength exercise, especially for your hip area and whatnot. All right, so the first thing we do is we're going to start with our right leg, come up. See how Connor's holding that knee up close to his arm and his shoulder? That's what you want to do. From there, you want to do a round kick that goes straight out to the side if possible. Try not to twist. Try to keep it straight off your belt. Hold it for a couple seconds and bring it back in. There we go. That's 2. Back in. 3. Try to keep your back straight. Once again, don't let it roll up. That's 3. There we go. 4. Remember to bring that knee up. Connor's already kind of cheating a little, so bring that knee. Hold that knee up. Don't let it drop. There you go. Right there, Connor. Don't let it go down. 4. Bring it right back up to that arm. And 5. This time we're going to go up and down 10 times. There you go. Should be starting to burn a little bit there. Good. Excellent. So 5 of those. Those are hard, all right? I'd rather have you do only 5 and do them right versus doing 10 and kind of looking weird and sloppy and not really doing you much good. So do 5 good ones. All right, on this side, we're gonna do the same thing. Ready, Connor? Knee up to your shoulder and arm, and then out. Awesome, hold that for a sec, then back in. Same thing again. Good, back in. 3rd time. Awesome, 2 more. Really good, keeping that height good. Last one. Out and up and down 10 times. Excellent. All right, good. Like I said, if you want to do more, feel free to do some more. And we're going to move on to the next thing, which is Sam-Jang. Welcome back. Today's form, or Pumse, is Sam-Jang today. So we're going to walk through that nice and slow. Connor, we're going to pick out little things if Connor's a little off on and work on, but also give you some things to focus on in this form as well. A lot of these will be very similar to Il-Chang and I-Chang, basically because these are still the first 3 forms that you're learning for white belt through yellow belt. So a lot of the similar techniques with some new ones introduced as you go higher in the ranks. But for today, most of the concepts should be somewhat similar to what we've seen already, but we'll review those as we go through. All right, Connor, Triot. 공개. 준비. All right, let's do the first move, right? Huzz. Good. Once again, low block should be parallel with your front leg, okay? And as far as distance outside, doesn't need to go much farther than where Connor is right now. We don't want our arms way out here. Connor, go ahead and show me where we don't want them. We don't do low blocks that go outside of our body. All right, so keep your low blocks in close to your body. Feet, nice walking stance, about shoulder width apart, and both feet pointing forward. Ready hand pulled back, elbow striking, and on your hip. All right, next move is front kick with ball of the foot, followed by double punch. Huzz! Good, and notice we've switched into a longer stance on these punches. Excellent. Good, Connor's got all his feet locked in nicely. I like it, looking good there, and punches are to the middle. All right, turning, doing the same thing on the other side, low block. Huzz! Good. And now the front kick, double punch. Huzz! Excellent. All right, Connor's going to bring that right foot around and slide to come forward. He's going to do a reverse knife hand strike. His target is the neck. All right, so go ahead, Connor, do the first one. Huzz! Good. Notice that both his arms were involved with that technique. It's not just one arm swinging and the other one kind of hanging out doing nothing. All right, as the knife hand was coming out, the other hand was chambering and pulling back. That way our hips are getting activated and we're doing a nice knife hand strike there to our neck. Remember, you want to keep your thumb, just like Connor's got it. He's got it kind of pulled tight and off to the side a little bit. I don't know if you can see this in the video. That helps tighten up this area that he's going to be striking with by pulling that thumb away a little bit, okay? And hopefully all his fingers are nicely slightly bent and firm. That way you have a nice tight tool when it strikes. Before it strikes, it's a little relaxed, so it's faster and moves quicker. All right, he's going to step forward, do the same thing with the other hand. Huzz! Excellent. All right, good. Still in a walking stance for these 2 strikes. All right, stepping to his left, we're going to do a low block. Or excuse me, not a low block, sorry, mixing my forms, my bad. We're going to do a back stance and a outward knife hand block. Huzz! Good. All right, notice that stance, your weight's on that back foot. Back is straight, okay? Feet are in an L shape. One's pointing forward, one's pointing to the side. All right, from here we're going to slide that front foot forward into a long stance, reverse middle punch. Huzz! Good. All right, from here, that back foot more or less stays where it is. It's just going to pivot. Your right foot, which is the front foot, is going to turn and go into your back stance with your knife hand guarding block on the other side. Huzz! Good. And he's going to slide forward, reverse punch. Good. All right, from here, we're going to come forward again, doing an inward middle block, and you're going to pivot on that back leg and drive forward onto the left leg, which is going to slide into the center line. Huzz! Excellent, Connor, very nice. All right, good hip motion, coming forward, same thing. Hus. Excellent, all right. Now, from here, we're gonna turn, and we're gonna do the sequence that we did in the beginning all over again. Ready, Connor? Hus. Good, walking, kick, punch, punch, good rhythm. Turn back the other side, do the same thing. Excellent. All right, now the confusing part. Everybody wants, so when they're learning these forms, likes to mix I-Chung and Sam-Jang together going back. All right, you're gonna move that front leg to go to the back towards the center and towards the back of the room again. All right, low block. Go ahead, Connor, she's up. Low block, punch. Okay, and we're gonna step forward. There's no kick this time. I-Chung's got a kick in here. Everybody kind of tries to throw a kick in here. So no kick, middle punch there. We're gonna step forward. That hand that's out there doing the punch is gonna re-chamber, and you're gonna do a low block punch again. Hus. Good. Now we get the kick. So front kick, ball of the foot. Hus. Low block punch. Good. Hus. Low block punch. Connor's worrying me today. Apparently didn't get enough sleep last night. But anyways, good. There's a key up on the end there. So we're moving that back foot around behind the other one. Go ahead, Connor. There we go. All right, good. Have to work on that one a little bit more. Once again, it's really hard when I'm slowing these all down for Connor, or for anybody that matter, when you're slowing them down and not used to breaking it down that much. So good. All right. So practice that one, go through it, make sure you're doing all the right stuff for those of you working on Sam-Jang for your next test. Everybody should also be reviewing any of their previous forms, as well as higher forms that we did not cover yet. So higher ranks, make sure you do all your forms right now. Good. And once again, we're moving on to the next part. All right. Next, we're going to start reviewing some things in the manual for each individual rank a little bit. Once again, we're starting with the lower rank, which I think is still a good review for some of the higher ranks, especially since I still catch higher ranks doing things not quite correct from the earlier days. So the first thing we want to start with is some stances for your white belts that are testing for your first yellow stripe. Okay, these are all very common, very basic stances. All right, the first one, chariot, which is a tension stance. Your feet come together, toes should be even. Hands are at your side. And remember, just because we go chariot doesn't mean you go. All right, you don't have to hit yourself. Everybody seems to like to do that. You don't have to. Just bring them to your side. All right, there's chariot, usually followed by Kong-Yang, so we usually bow at this point. All right, next stance that we work on is Jumbi, okay, which is your ready stance. All right, once again, feet should be parallel, about shoulder widths apart, hands at the front, and in a ready position, slightly bent, probably about your belt level, depending on your arm length. Okay, so that is your parallel ready stance. Next stance is your horseback or sitting stance. Okay, once again, feet are almost parallel. Okay, some people it's a little more comfortable just to flare out just a little bit, but the more you can keep here and kind of push your feet out and make the sides of your legs perpendicular to the floor, the more stable and rooted to the ground you're going to be. All right, your upper body should be, I'm a little tight here for mine, your upper body should be comfortable, but back straight and sitting. Okay, make sure you get a nice bend to your legs. Okay, turn this way a little bit. All right, you don't want to be, this is not a sitting stance if your legs are straight. All right, our legs should be bent. Okay, and just over, so our knees and our toes are just over each other. Okay, good. Review those two. Long stance. All right, this is from Chun-Ji. All right, is definitely bigger than our walking stance. Our front leg should be bent. Should be able to look down the front of my knee, see my toes. All right, my foot is running straight forward. Back leg is slightly angled, not too much. Don't do this. I see people do that. You want to turn it forward so that it rolls your hips forward. Okay. If I'm moving in this stance, this is a long stance. I'm going to come up, kind of do like I always call it a moon shape motion with my back foot. It's going to come up, center in, and drive back forward onto that front leg. All right, driving with that back leg, which should be locked. Okay, so do a few of those. If you can, you got some space, go forward and go back. Okay, don't have to go 10 feet up and down, just back and forth a few times, work through that motion. All right, next stance for that rank is your L stance, once again from Chun-Ji. All right, this is a longer, deeper stance than our back stance would be. Our back stance, which is the higher ranks, is a little bit tighter and closer. This one we go out a little bit deeper and farther. Our weight's about 70% on the back, 30% on the front. Okay, once again, knees are bent, weight's back. My body is 45. If I'm going this direction, my body's angled slightly to the side. Okay, probably about 45 degrees, whereas our back stance, we have a tendency to be a little bit more side facing. This one, we're here. It should feel comfortable. Okay, if you feel like you're twisting your upper body, that's too much. Let it off a little bit. Okay, once again, moving forward with this. Okay, go backwards. Backwards actually almost is easier when you're doing L stance and back stance because your weight's going backwards. All right, one thing to keep in mind, my feet are not straight back from each other. All right, back stance, we do that. L stance, we're actually gonna move it out, 1, 2, and then slide back. It's almost like it's going at an angle away from the other one. Okay, makes sense? Good. Let's see, fighting stance. Fighting stance, and this is a generic term for this because everybody has their own way of having a fighting stance, but the basic guidelines should be somewhat like this. All right, my feet should be comfortable, maybe shoulder width a little more, not much farther than that. We don't want to be in like a big, deep, old style, traditional karate fighting stance, too slow, okay? We're up, balls of the feet, heels are kind of light, and then coming up and off and down the floor a little bit. All right. I want this back foot, my feet are both angled forward, my body's turned sideways. I want this back foot to be able to push and drive straight through. I don't want it right behind this foot where it's got to go around this leg. I want it to be able to come straight through. So if I'm kicking from here, go straight up and through without anything in the way. Most of you have done the footwork up and down the floor, your Chun-Jins, elbow Chun-Jins, your Hoo-Jins, and your elbow Hoo-Jins, those are all in fighting stance. Good drill to practice at home. If you just got a few feet, go 1, go 2, switch. Go 1, go 2, okay? Switch. Now do your elbows. 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, switch, and so on. All right, you don't need to have a big long room to go up and down it. You can do it 2 or 3 steps, switch, 2 or 3 steps back the other way, okay? Good, that's our stances. So we'll be right back and we're gonna go over our, I have cheat notes down here in case you want, our hand techniques for this, for the white belts next, okay? So for white belts, for your first test, one of the important things that we wanna make sure you understand is how to make a proper fist, okay? A lot of our higher ranks still occasionally catch you with your thumbs in the wrong place or doing something silly. So, you know, once again, although for lower ranks, good for higher ranks to review. All right, so the first thing I want Connor to do is going to show us how to make a proper fist. All right, so he's going to hold his hand up just like so. All right, he's going to bring his fingers so that they come together. And then he rolls them down kind of like they're rolling in and then wraps that thumb underneath. All right. Where we're hitting, if Connor's pushing his hand out like this, we're hitting with these 2 knuckles right here, okay? Some other styles might use these or other variations, but for Taekwondo, we are focused on hitting with these 2 knuckles. Some things to remember about throwing a punch. We want this to be level, okay? We do not want, let's see, yeah. We don't want that. We don't want to be hitting with that and then break our wrist and our fingers. We don't want to be rolled down and hit here, and this causes us to snap our wrist. We want this flat as we can be, generally when we're hitting something hard, all right? Other things to consider when throwing a middle punch. This elbow joint, we do not want to lock it. We want a slight bend at impact, okay? We don't want to hyperextend our elbow. There's a couple reasons. Obviously, the first one being you don't want to overextend and do damage to that elbow joint over time of locking your elbow over and over in hard, shocking motion. The other thing is if your elbow's locked and somebody's blocking, and they block a little high and they hit your elbow ends up looking like Connor's do naturally where they bend the wrong way. Connor can get away with that because he's got especially gifted elbows that most of us don't have. All right, so always leave a little bit of cushion in there so that when it hits, it's got a little shock absorber in there so if somebody hits your elbow, it doesn't instantly hyperextend and you go home in pain that night. Okay, so good. That is our middle punch. Just for targeting, once again, we've kind of covered this before. Our middle punch should line up around our center line, where the V on our dough box come together. Our high punch should be at our nose. Our low punch should be around the belt or groin area, okay? Once again, when we punch, the other hand in traditional punching is basically replacing that hand. So if Connor's switching, there you go. And for those of you that are really smart and paying attention, we know that that is what, Connor? Reaction force. I was trying to stump Connor today, but he's on the ball on that one. All right, so reaction force. So for every force, there's an opposite and equal force. All right, so as that one comes back out, the other one's pulling back just as hard, if not harder. One of my instructors long ago said, think about pulling an elbow strike back as hard as you can and make that harder than your punch, and your punch will get harder. And you know what? He was right. I was struggling with some breaks, and turned out by thinking that way, I was able to do the breaks. So good, reaction force with your punches. All right, good. We're gonna cover some blocks and chambering for white belts next. All right, so we're gonna review the 3 blocks that are required for your first test as a white belt. They're a low block, a middle block, and a high block, okay? The low block and the high block are pretty straightforward. The middle block is with your inner forearm. This is if your arms hang natural. This would be your inner forearm. This would be your outer forearm. Okay, a little extra information for those that still don't know that. Okay, for this middle block, we're going to do, well, we'll get to that in a second, and I'll show you how that's all going to work. All right, but starting with your low block, okay, the biggest thing to remember is your chamber motion. All right, we're going to do these in a long stance, coming forward a little bit. So it should be somewhat familiar to how you would do it, say at testing or in your forms or up and down the floor when we're doing basic techniques, okay? Once again, if you don't have a lot of space, just do 1 or 2 and then do them backwards, okay? Learning to do these backwards and forward is really a good exercise. A lot of times we don't do a lot of stuff going backwards, and we really should probably do more of that. So, starting with our low block, we're gonna go from Jumbi, all right? When we shija, the hand is going to do the block. In this case, my left hand is going to do the block. It's going to come up. I'm rotating my hips. I'm turning sideways. And from here, I'm stepping out and rotating my hips into the block. Okay? I want to use my hips. All right? Everything stays relaxed. We're loose, we're calm, we're relaxed. Everything's here. We're exhaling and breathing out. And tightening right at the moment of impact. Okay? If I'm going backwards, turn, twist out. Whoop, balance. All right, again, turn, and twist out. Okay, good. Same thing if we're doing high blocks. Okay, from Jumbi, we're gonna center, turn to the side, step out, high block. All right, our blocks are on the outside. All right, not on the inside. Okay, on the outside, turn to the side, and up. Going backwards, all right, turn to the side, and up, side, and up, okay, good. Our next one is the middle block. And once again, do the low blocks and the high blocks, do them 5 or 6 times. Make sure you get that chamber motion and turning to the side and really using your hips and body to drive those blocks up. Make sure your high blocks are above your head, okay. A lot of you like to stop right above your eyeballs, and then I usually whack you on the head with something to remind you that your head does extend beyond your eyes, okay? Connor's laughing back here behind the camera. All right, coming forward this time. We're gonna still do our long stance today, all right? But we're gonna use that same similar motion. We're gonna turn to the side. My middle block is low. My upper hand is the reaction force. As I come forward, they're gonna rotate and switch and twist at the same time. All right, that's why this one's up, or I should say both palms are up, so that when I twist into the block, my hands end in the right position, not this way, okay? Come forward, turn, out. Okay, going backwards, same motion. Okay, for this block, we want to keep our hand about parallel with our shoulder because it's a middle technique, all right? You want to make sure this elbow's guarding down here. I see way too many times people are like, I'm like, whack. Okay, and I've caught some black belts, you know who you are out there that still do this, all right? Middle block. If we're doing a high, it would be up here. We're doing middle blocks, okay? Good, all right, so those are your 3 blocks for your white belts. We got a low block, high block, and your middle block, all right? And remember, inner form, outer form. So if we're doing our middle block, it's actually an outward inner form middle block, okay? A lot of stuff there that all in one sentence, but just remember, this is your outward middle block, okay? Good. On that, we are running out of time. So I was hoping to do a little bit more, but we will do double time on the next class and see if we can get through some more basic hand techniques and stances for the next group, okay? But let's do a quick cool down and stretch, and we will call it a wrap. So for our stretch or cool down today, we're gonna kind of do a little bit of a heads down approach today. Feel free to do whatever you want for a cool down, but I'm just trying to give some suggestions and different things for you to do at home. All right, once again, this is like a 5-minute, maybe 10 minutes if you want to do some extra stuff, cool down at the end of your class, okay? So first thing we're gonna do is a little bit of head. We're gonna pull our heads to the side, reach up and just kind of gently pull it and stretch that neck muscles. Do it to the other side. Good. Let your neck just go down, your chin towards your chest and rest. There you go. And once to the back. Excellent. All right, from there, we're gonna do a little bit with our shoulders. So grab your right shoulder and pull it across like that. There we go. And try to, sorry, the camera bouncing around there, trying to show Connor which way to go. And then the arm, the shoulder you're stretching, straighten that arm out. Yep, there we go. Let it just kind of fall and hang out. Really try to keep your chest square to the front, and that way you're really pulling that back part of your shoulder muscles. Good, and relax that. Let it swing out and around to the back a little bit. Good, and then do the other side. And once again, hold each one of these for a few seconds and relax. And then the next one, you're gonna reach with your one arm so it's reaching up behind your back, and then reach with the other one up and over the top and try to grab your 2 hands together. And if you can grab your hands together, Connor, go ahead and turn around just a little bit so we can see. Oh, Connor can't quite reach his other hand. So if you can reach your other hands, that's great, all right? That's showing your shoulders got some good flexibility, but really try to stretch and grab your hands if you can. All right, and then from there, you're gonna switch and do the other side. So that hand's up. Oh boy. We found some problems here. Connor apparently is a little lopsided in the shoulder department. One side's really tight, so we'll have to continue to work on that. All right, good. And relax that for a sec. Good, and from here, let's do just a few loose, just kind of chunk twists a little bit, just to kind of lower that lower back a little bit, or stretch that lower back a little bit. Always make sure that the foot you're turning away from is lifting the heel up. Good. All right, from there, let's go down onto our hands and knees. All right, and then we're gonna go forward and keep your legs out behind you straight. Yep, there you go, good. This is my favorite stretch now. All right, really wanna try to relax your hip and that whole area around the upper part of your legs and let it just sink down into the floor. Keep your shoulders square and head up. And really think about that lower back curve. Try to get that so it's a nice smooth curve. Like in Connor's case, he might be able to try to see if he can get his belt a little bit farther down to the ground. Can you sink? There he goes. There you go. Good. All right, hold that for a few seconds. Relax, let your arms bend. Let your arms bend. So you go down, go down, go down, go down. There you go, good. All right, and then go back up. Do the same stretch again. And do this about 10 times. We're not gonna do that today, but do that up and down 10 times. Hold for a sec or two, then go down. And then back up again. You do that for about 10 seconds. Or not 10 seconds, 10 times. All right, so you do that 10 more, what is it? That was 2, 3 times, do it 7 more times. Once you're done with that, we're gonna switch to the next part, which is Connor's gonna roll back onto his knees from there. Let his hips shift back, yep. There you go, and just lay out nice and straight, kind of deep breath in, really relax and think about trying to reach those arms out forward. Okay, good. And then from there we're gonna slide so that we go over to the right. Stay right with your body, the lower body where it is, but move your arms and your shoulders to the right corner. Yep, keep going, both hands. There you go, try to keep your hips down on the ground, straight, there you go. Really focuses a little bit more on that side section. Hold that for a few seconds, go back to the other side. Excellent. Good, make sure you're breathing. No passing out from lack of oxygen. Come back to the center. Good, one more good stretch out, reaching out, really trying to stretch that back, good. Now from here, come up on your knees and your hands and really try to push your back up, like let it drop and then arch it up like you're a cat. All right, good, Connor, very good. All right, and then relax, let it sink all the way forward again and then back up. Good. And relax, good. All right, from there we're gonna move up on our feet again. And we're gonna do our basic splits, okay? Once again, I think we've done this a few times, but just for a quick review, obviously make sure you guys are doing this for a good, few minutes of stretching, get those legs really good and stretched out. But once again, we're gonna pull our feet in tight. So from shoulder width apart, you're pulling your legs in, trying to bring your feet together. And then after holding for a few seconds, relax, let your feet go out. Good. And then do the same thing again, pull your legs in. We're obviously doing this a little abbreviated and rushed today, so take more time doing this. Good, and then stretch and go out a little bit farther. All right, and same thing, pull your legs in, hold it for about 10 seconds. Really working those muscles like you're trying to rise back up without lifting your feet. You're trying to slide your feet together. Okay, from there, relax, go out a little bit farther or as far as you can go. Doesn't, it's up to you at this point. Good, and then once again, pull in as hard as you can. And hold and relax and slide out even a little bit farther all the way if you can. There we go, good. From there, we're gonna do our forwards and backs. So we're gonna go forward. Try to keep your feet exactly where they were when you were just standing up tall. All right, we don't wanna move our feet from any positions at this point. Okay, and we're gonna hold that for a little bit, go back. All the way back as far as you can go without falling over. Once again, our feet do not move. They stay right in the same spot. Hold that for a little bit, come back to center. From center, we're gonna rotate so our right foot goes up and our left foot goes down. All right, it's a side split. Once again, keeping those feet right where they're. If you can work them out a little bit, in case you lost some, feel free to try to stretch them out a little bit farther here. All right, hold this for a few seconds. Try to bring your chest down to your knee, not your head. Try to keep your head a little bit straighter. There you go, and really think about lowering that, bending at the waist and lowering that chest. Good, all right, and then come back to center. And rotate over to the other side, same thing. Good. And once again, head up, lowering your chest, try to drop it down. I know some of you can lay down flat on the floor, that's awesome. I wish some of the rest of us could do that as well. All right, go back to center. Good, all right, so this one's a little different here for Connor. What I want you to do is kind of, you're gonna quickly go forward. All right, then backwards,
back to center, left, and then right. And then back to center. Okay? So kind of like a 1, 2, 3, 4 count. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Pick a side. Sorry, 3 should have been a side. There you go. 4, other side. Good. 5, back to center. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back to center. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, back to center. Okay, feel free to do that a few more times. That really kind of helps loosen things up in those little spots in your joints that sometimes bind up. That's another good exercise right there. All right, from there, we're gonna roll back onto our butt and bring our feet in. All right, no, straight out. All right, and from there, pull your toes back to towards your knees. All right, and from there, try to bend at the waist and reach forward and try to wrap those feet. If you can bend and put your chest down on your legs, go for it. That's awesome. If you're like the rest of us that can't do those things, just reach out. If you can reach and grab the tops of your toes. Connor, can you reach the top of your toes? All right, good. If you can do that, think about right from that position, dropping your elbows to your knees. Come on, Connor, drop your elbows to your knees. Connor's elbows won't drop to his knees. But from there, if you can drop your elbows to the knees, go for it. That's a good way to get a little extra stretch out of that. Hold that for a few seconds. And good, and relax. All right, good. I think that's it for today, right, Connor?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. We will check out here in a second.
Okay, that's a wrap on the class. I think this is our 4th one. Wow, can't believe it's already been 4 classes. But I hope some people are finding some uses for these. If not, let me know so I can, I don't have to waste my time in here videotaping. But it sounds like people are getting some good information and some things to work on. If there's still anything that you'd like to see or improved, I know we're working our way up through the ranks a little bit at this point in time. If there's something specific anybody wants to see or needs help on, please let us know in the comments or on Facebook. We're happy to make special requests for anybody that pipes up and says something online. Other than that, I hope you're all doing well, staying safe, and everything's going good at the home front. Keep working on the school stuff. I know it's hard. Second weeks are always a little bit of the novelty of it's worn off. Connor would testify to that, I'm sure. He's smiling and making faces. School's important. Keep working on that. Help your parents at home with stuff around the house. You all got to stick together and work together on these things right now. Family is important, so make sure you're helping each other out. And if you need anything from us, please holler, let us know online, give us a call, whatever. We're here for you guys. We miss you, and we hope to see all of you soon. Until the next class.